All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. I'm running a little late this morning. Hopefully, you guys can forgive me. But this morning, we're going to talk about what are you going to do about it? There's a lot going on in the world. Everybody's complaining, man. Everybody's got something to say about it. But what are you going to do about it? Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, good morning to you. Sorry about the delay this morning. I just got caught up doing a couple of things. No excuses. I just running a little late this morning. I was talking to one of the guys here in the office and got a little distracted and didn't even realize what time it was until it was already well past 7:30. But without further ado, let's jump into this thing. So, obviously there's a lot going on in the world, and I hear a lot of people complaining or talking about, just one side is extremely happy, the other side's extremely disgruntled, and everybody's kind of got their position on everything that's going on politically. And I just wanted to, kind of clear the air this morning and give you guys some perspective on, just kind of how I view it and some of the research that I've done, some of the things that, I've talked to people about. And I've talked to a lot of different people, in a lot of different positions about what this all really means. And the truth is, I will stand by what I've been saying for the last handful of days here since the election happened and all the chaos afterwards has happened, is that, it just won't affect you significantly. And I want to kind of dig into that. I want to talk about, why I have the position that I have. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I'm not sure if maybe President Trump is correct and there were some things that were done incorrectly, and maybe, he turns out to be the winner. I don't know. Maybe Joe Biden turns out to be the winner. Here's what I'll tell you guys about both of those situations. Whichever one of those people it is, I am going to support them and I'm going to wish them well, because wishing them anything else but the best is just foolish, in my opinion. It is it's not right as an American. It doesn't make sense for you to not wish well for our country, for the best for everybody. And so regardless of which way it goes, man, you're going to see me rooting for whoever it is, whoever ends up in office. And here's kind of what I want to, why I said, what are you going to do about it? The answer is you're not going to do anything about it, because the United States is set up in a way that these kinds of challenges, these kinds of issues, our country is designed to correct those things itself. Because if, the worst case scenario for you, whatever that is, if you're a Trump supporter, if Biden wins, and they do all kinds of things that are crazy and bad for business, and it doesn't go the way that it should, the economy tanks, those things correct themselves, and they correct themselves through the midterm elections. They correct themselves through the next presidential election. That there is, the people will speak and those things will be corrected. That's what's great about our country. If you go back through history and you actually study these things, what you are going to do about it individually is you're going to sit back and watch all these things kind of unfold. Hopefully you don't get invested emotionally in all of it. Hopefully you get emotionally vested in yourself, in your own future, in the future of those people around you. You take one step in front of the next every single day, and you do something different that actually changes your life, that puts you in a better position, that grows your business, that helps your family, that brings your marriage to a better place than it is today. None of those people, Donald Trump's not going to go to work for you. Joe Biden's not going to go to work for you. Nobody's going to make it better for you. And anybody that tells you that they're going to make it better for you is not telling you the truth. They might create policies that give you a little slight edge, but if you don't do anything different from now until next year or the year after, whatever that small little piece of whatever you could get that's better this way or that way is not going to make a difference if you don't make a difference. So the first step is You have to make a difference in your own life. What are you going to do about it? Hopefully you're going to do something in your own life. Hopefully you're going to turn off the news, block out that noise that's nothing but a distraction at this point, and you're going to go to work. You're going to start planning for 2021. You're going to start executing better in 2020 to finish the year. You know, you've got almost 2 months left in this year to make a difference, to put yourself in a better position. And I'll tell you what's not going to make 2021 better for you is who ends up the president or how that ends up happening. What process is followed to make it happen, it's not going to matter to you. It's not going to matter to your family. And so what you're going to do about it is going to happen in your own life. It's not going to happen outside of your own life. It's not going to happen outside of your own business. Whoever ends up the president isn't going to make a difference in your business. You may end up paying a higher tax, a higher tax percentage. You might end up, in a different economy than you were. It doesn't really matter. Those conditions are going to be the same for everybody. The question you have to ask yourself is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do that's going to put you in the best case scenario, regardless of what happens? And that's the challenge for all of us, is what does that look like for us? What it looks like for you is what you decide it's going to look like today and tomorrow and the next day. What are you going to do? What are you going to do every morning when you wake up that's different? Or are you going to go home, sit down on your couch, click on the news, and become obsessed over stuff that's not going to make a difference for you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And if the answer is, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to focus, I'm going to block out all this noise and I'm going to go to work, man, you're going to end up with a great result. Because most people, remember this, most people are going to go home, sit on the couch, turn on the television, and become obsessed over all of those things that they can't control. That's what most people do. You'll see it. You can watch on social media. You can see what people are focused on. If you're focused on the wrong things, don't be surprised when you get the wrong things. When you end up with people telling you, oh man, we're in a recession, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, and you buy into that, don't be surprised when you end up in that place you didn't want to end up in, because you're not taking the actions necessary that line up with what you want. The idea is this, guys. It's very simple. If you do the right things every single day, you can't get the wrong result. But if you stay focused on things you can't control, and that takes you away from the things that you can control. I had somebody literally talking to me about purchasing a house in the last couple of weeks here, and talking about, how, well, they're nervous about buying a house, but because they don't know what's going to happen or this or that. And basically they need more money to buy a house, but they're focusing all of their time on the fact of, they don't know what's going to happen, instead of focusing on the fact of how they're going to improve their life and make more money so that they can actually buy the house. Like, that doesn't line up, right? So your actions have to line up with what you actually want. It doesn't matter if you write it down every day if you're not taking the actions, right? If you have goals, you write them down, you speak them into existence, but you don't do anything about it, that's not going to happen. So your actions have to line up, and you have to do it. You have to be loyal to whatever it is that you want for an extended period of time. And the people who are best at this are the people that have this ability to block out all the nonsense that's going on in our world, keeping their focus forward on the prize, on what it is that they want. Those are the people that achieve it. Those people that are rattled by just a presidential election, that is not the sign of great things to come. If that has you rattled to the point that you can't function every day, you need to evaluate what it is that's causing that for you, because it's probably not just the presidential election. It's probably other things in your life. That is your reason. That is kind of your escape that you're using. It's the excuse or the reason. And so if you can figure out what that is, it's causing the root cause of the problem, you'll be on your way to fixing whatever that is. And that is an important thing, man. If you can get your arms around that, and you can get to a point where everything kind of feels right, you got a rhythm to your life, none of these things really bother you too much, you're going to feel in control, you're going to feel self-confident, And you're going to feel that momentum start to create in your life that makes you feel genuinely unstoppable. But if something as small, yes, I will say small, as the presidential election, because it is a small impact on your life, a very small impact. If you continue to win, no president is going to take that away from you. If something that small can impact you and send you off course, then you need to evaluate what else it is that's wrong in your life that you need to focus on, right? Because once you get control of those things and you get yourself pointed in the right direction, you're going to feel that momentum, feel that self-confidence. You'll be on your way to winning and winning big. And remember, when this stuff is happening in the world, most other people are going to get distracted by it. So this gives you an opportunity. This is what I call all the time. Ed Milet uses the term. I will reuse it over and over and over again. It's called separation season. Separation season is the space that you can put between you and your competition and everybody else in the world, because you are able to focus and stay disciplined when everybody else loses their focus. Trust me, take my advice. I promise you, spend some time today figuring out what it is that's bothering you really, because the presidential election shouldn't be it. Doesn't mean that it can't bother you. It means it can't take over your life. It can't make your actions today different than they should be based on just a presidential election. If that is the case, then you probably need bigger goals or something bigger to focus on than just the presidential election bothering you. Doesn't mean you don't talk about it. Doesn't mean it's not part of your conversations, but it can't change your actions. I hope this advice and perspective helped you guys. If it did, please share this out. As you can see on the screen this morning, I got the Perspective podcast covered there to remind you guys that these episodes are available on podcasts. So there's 233 of them that are live on every platform. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. I'm sure there's even more that it's broadcast to, but anywhere that you listen to podcasts, these episodes should be available there. So please go download them. If you find them useful, send them to somebody. You know, I do this every single morning, and there's a lot of topics that a lot of people might need at some point in their life that could benefit them. And if you're the person that plugs them into something that helps them, man, that's a great connection to have, is to be able to help people and share things that are helpful to you. So I hope you guys share this out. I hope that you find it useful. If you do, please go listen to the podcasts. Like I said, if you're driving around in your car, instead of listening to the news or something that's going to send you in the wrong direction, try to listen to something that'll lift you up, give you some perspective to start your day, to start your week, whatever it may be. So wishing you guys an amazing Tuesday, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.